Hey guys, so what I want to do in this video is to walk you through how to build a sales funnel from scratch. And I also want to share an example of a simple sales funnel that we recently created for one of our products, the No Sweat Sales Workbook and Scripts, so that you get an example of how a sales funnel look like in real life. What I want to do in this video is to walk you through the fundamentals of a sales funnel, what goes into a sales funnel. What I'm not going to teach you is the step-by-step how to build a sales funnel using any particular tool, because whatever I'm going to teach you here is going to be applicable across any tool or program that you use. So this is the key to any sales funnel. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the best place for online entrepreneurs. My name is Christabel, marketing coach for online business owners. If you're new to this channel, we do a lot of videos on online business and marketing. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button as well. With every sales funnel, there are different elements and stages for it. I'm going to walk you through in general first, and then we're going to go into details. Now, at the top of every sales funnel, the first element for every sales funnel is the part where it says traffic. All right, so we're going to talk about what traffic does for a sales funnel, why it's important, and then we're going to go into the second stage, which is the lead capture stage, right? Once you get the traffic, how do you turn these people into leads, right? And then we're going to go into the third stage. We're going to talk about how do you convert and qualify some of the people from stage number 2, and then we're going to end off with stage number 4, the ascend stage. Once someone buys something from you at the end, at the bottom of the sales funnel, what can we do then? So let's jump right in. Before we talk about the stage number 1 traffic part, I want to talk about first knowing your audience. Before you build any sales funnel, you got to know who your sales funnel is for. Right? So if you already have a product or a service that you're trying to sell at the end of the sales funnel, right? You're trying to sell using this sales funnel, then you got to first know who you're trying to target. You got to first know your audience. And so before you build any sales funnel, right, you want to make sure that you know very clearly your target market, because that is going to affect stage number 1, the traffic. At the very top of the funnel, the very first thing you need to do is to make sure that you are getting traffic into your sales funnel. This is the stage where people find out about your product, your brand. Now, when it comes to the traffic part, we break it down into 3 different types of traffic. Now, the first type of traffic that you gotta be mindful of is the cold traffic. The cold traffic are the people that don't know who you are yet. Right? They don't know who you are, or they don't know that a problem exists, absolutely unaware that they even have this problem, right? So this is the cold traffic. Then we go on to the warm traffic, right? This is the second group of traffic. It's called the warm traffic. Now, these people might have consumed a content of yours in the past, might have seen your name, your brand, heard someone talked about you in the past, okay? They are warm, so they kind of know who you are, but they don't yet have that trust and that intimacy with you or your brand, okay? And then we talk about the hot traffic. Now, the hot traffic are the people who know who you are, they've been consuming your content, they have some kind of relationship with you, over a period of time. And these people are typically the people on your email list, typically the people who have been following you for a long time, and they are much easier to sell to. So by understanding that there are 3 different types of traffic and not just one, it really helps you understand why sometimes some sales funnel work and why sometimes, a sales funnel doesn't work. Because a lot of times the mistake that people make is that they try to build a sales funnel that's meant for a hot traffic, but they end up targeting the cold traffic, and then it doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work is because they don't have the adequate number of steps, the adequate amount of nurturing required to turn someone from cold and unaware to warm and aware to eventually hot and just ready to buy. And so now that you know that there are 3 different types of audience, there are also 3 different types of ways to get your traffic coming in. There's the earned media, there's the paid media, and there's the owned media, okay? So typically with the cold traffic, what's happening is you are probably getting them through, paid media. So paid ads, paid Facebook ads, paid YouTube ads, banner ads on the website. And that's why they're getting cold audience. They're seeing your ad for the first time. They don't know who you are yet. Now, typically cold audiences take a long time to warm up, okay? It's really hard to get a cold audience to jump right in and buy straight from you if they don't know who you are yet. The earned media is where PR, people featuring your product or your brand in their articles, in their interviews, you going on to podcast interviews, for example, live stream interviews, for example, those are earned media, okay? And earned media usually gets you the warm audience. People kind of, okay, awesome, this is cool, right? Who is this person? Like, oh, this person is going to feature by a media publication or by someone that I actually trust in. And then the hot audience, this is probably people who have been consuming your content through your own media, right? So owned media is where you start to create your own content, things like this YouTube video. So when you are consuming the content of someone, you start to trust them more, you start to see them as an authority figure, and so you start to become that hot audience. So there are 3 different ways to get traffic, and there are 3 different types of traffic. So keep that in mind. Now, with the cold audience, as you can see here, it takes longer, right? It's a longer process to get them from traffic to lead. Now, this is important because it means that your sales funnel has to be longer, right? It's a longer process. The warm audience, shorter amount of time, right? They kind of already know who you are. They don't need that much nurturing. And then the hot audience, people who are on your email list, people who they've been following you for ever since you started your business for a long time, basically. They don't require as much nurturing and convincing as the cold audience. So it's a much shorter sales funnel. So this will actually affect on how long or how many steps your sales funnel require. Now, my preferred ways of getting traffic is through content, so content marketing on YouTube and my podcast. Another thing that I do for traffic is partnerships. So I do a lot of partnerships with brands and people who have the target audience that I'm trying to reach, but they don't sell the same or similar product or services that I sell. So for me, partnerships actually rank way higher than the content I create on YouTube or my podcast or on social media, because with the right partnership, I get to very quickly tap into my ideal customers, my ideal target market, the warm target market, without spending too much time trying to create content and without spending money or too much money trying to get, paying ads for cold leads, for example. Now that you've gotten your traffic, people coming into your sales funnel, we move on to stage number 2, which is the lead capture part, okay? Stage number 2, lead capture. So as you can see, right, lots of traffic, lots of people coming in, and then what do we do with them? We want to capture their leads. One of the biggest mistakes that I see businesses make, whether it's online or offline, is they don't capture those leads, right? So say, for example, someone comes into your website and then you do nothing about it. There is no way to capture the leads, the email address, the name, and that is a missed opportunity. You always want to convert them. You always want to try to get as many leads as possible in that sales funnel. And so as they're coming in onto your website, as they're coming onto your landing page, your social media, your content, the traffic that's consuming your content, the traffic that's seeing your ads, you want to make sure that you are capturing their name, okay, your name and their email on your website. And then this is the button where people click on it, right? Now, how do you actually capture the leads? There are a couple of ways to capture leads over here, okay, in stage number 2. The first way is the most common way, which is the lead magnet stage, right? The lead magnets, using lead magnets like enter your email and your name to download this free PDF. Enter your name or your email to download this free mini course. Download the free white paper if you're B2B. So that is using a lead magnet. Another way is to use a quiz. You can use a quiz for a lot of things. So, for example, if you are a service provider, you can use a quiz to find out more about your, the traffic that you are attracting by creating a quiz that says, take this quiz to find out more about your personality type and then the marketing that suits your personality type. So that's the type of quiz you can create. And then another one is the pop-up, right? A pop-up is where you visit a website and then, exit intent, before you leave this website, enter your name and your email. And then the last one is the news type of lead, right? Where it says, give me your email and your name, and we will, update you when we've got new updates, when we've got a new product, when we've got one of those new stuff. So these are the common ways of actually turning the traffic into leads. So this is stage number 2, you're capturing your leads. And as you can see here, there are more people coming into the traffic stage. You've got a lot of people coming in traffic. But as we go down, there are lesser people. Why is that? Because not everyone is going to give you their email and their name and their phone number. And that's okay, because if they're not going to even give you their email and your name, then it's highly unlikely that they're going to buy from you as well. Now, once we're done with the lead capture stage, let's go on to stage number 3, the convert and qualify stage. So we've got people downloading your lead magnet, we've got people taking your quizzes, we've got people entering their email addresses when they see the pop-up or signing up for updates. But how do we move them to a paying customer? And this is the stage where we start to move them down into buying from you. When it comes to converting them, there are 2 things that matters the most to any human being, and it's a sign of them committing to your brand. The first thing is money, so using money to commit, and then the second thing is using their time to commit, okay? And so let's break it down for the money part. Now, when it comes to committing with the money, we often refer to this as some kind of tripwire. Now, a tripwire is a product, a small product, a cheap product, a smaller version product of your main product that you're trying to sell at the end of the sales funnel. It could be a simple solution from the main product, a simple splinter from the main product. So for example, if you are selling a course and you've got a sales funnel over here, maybe you could sell a simple PDF guide that would help them to achieve something small for a very low price, and then get them the results before they consider buying the main course. And now let's go on to the time part, the commitment using time. A way that someone commits by using their time is if they were to sign up for a demo with you, schedule a call with you, book an appointment with you. That is some kind of commitment. So bear in mind at this stage, there are 2 types of conversions here, right? You can either convert them with a tripwire where they pay something. And if you're in B2C, this is a little tip for you, okay? If you are in B2C, your tripwire ideally should be less than $20. So somewhere between $1 to $20, somewhere a sweet number. Sometimes it's $7 or $17. Some people do $27 as well. That's totally cool. And then commitment with time. Okay, so they book a call with you, they book some kind of appointment with you. Now let's move on to stage number 4. So once you get them to commit either their time or their money, it's time to move them down stage number 4, where we start to ascend them. So what is ascending them? So as you can see, ascending them is small money, bigger money, bigger money. Basically what we're trying to do is to move them from core offer to upsell number 1 and then upsell number 2. Now the idea here is that we want to always try to maximize every single customer's lifetime value. So say for example, once someone has committed to buy a small, cheaper tripwire with you that costs $17, for example. Now, how can we magnify and multiply that amount so that instead of just being $17 per customer, now they're buying more from us? What I want to do is to start to move them up the Ascension ladder. Once they buy a tripwire, right? Once they buy something cheap from you, we want to start to make sure that that tripwire, that small thing of value, is super engaging, it's super valuable, it's something that they're like, oh my god, this is totally worth the $7 or $27, the $17 that I spent, so that they have this positive impression of your brand. Once they have this positive engagement with your brand, now we can start to say, since you bought this, would you also be interested in this thing? I want you to think of when you go to McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's, for example, okay, or In-N-Out. But basically, when you go to one of these places and you order a burger, they like to ask you, would you also like a set as well? Or would you like a side of fries with it? They're trying to turn your $3 or $5 or $7 burger into $10, $15, and so on, right? They're trying to get you to buy more. And they're trying to get you to buy more by cross-selling you something similar or upselling you to something better. So if you're buying just the no sweat sales workbook and scripts, Now I can say, hey, you've bought the workbook and you bought the scripts. Maybe you might be also interested in the No Sweat Sales course, where we walk you through, more details. We go into more details. We teach you more stuff related to sales, or cross-sell them, and we say, hey, since you bought the No Sweat Sales workbook and scripts and you're interested in sales, you might be also interested in list building, right? Because you want to grow your list and get more people into your funnel. So then you get more sales. So that's kind of cross-selling them something that is similar and related to the original product. This is a stage where a lot of entrepreneurs skip. Once they sell them something, they buy the core offer, right? They buy whatever they buy, and then they're done with it. There is no follow-up. There is nothing else that you upsell them or cross-sell them to. And using this, we get to maximize the amount of money we earn from each customer. So I want to walk you through the simple sales funnel that we created for No Sweat Sales. So this is one of the examples of how we got traffic into the funnel, and that is through the YouTube channel where I created a video about how to get sales. In the description itself, I mentioned that if you want to get the lead magnet, the 10 sales generating activity checklist, go ahead and click on this link. And so once they click on that link, they go on to the checklist page where now I move them from traffic to the lead generation part where I start to capture the leads. And so as you can see on this page, I tell them what they're going to get. I ask them for the name and their email before I send them the sales checklist. A little bit more description about what goes into this free checklist just to kind of entice them a little bit more, and then we get them to enter the name and email. Once they do that, once they actually enter the name and their email, they go on to the thank you page. Now this is the part where I'm trying to convert them from someone who downloaded something for free to someone who buys a tripwire. So I get to qualify them. So I try to move them down towards the sales funnel. And so I tell them that, hey, thanks for downloading the No Sweat Sales checklist. Before you go, check out this incredible one-time offer, which is the No Sweat Sales workbook and scripts. I kind of explain what's included in this workbook and scripts and how it's only $17. So they can start making consistent sales for just $17. So this is kind of a walkthrough of how the No Sweat Sales funnel is when it comes to getting them traffic and then going down to getting their leads and then getting them to buy a simple tripwire for just $17. So let's do a quick recap on how to build a sales funnel from scratch. At the very top of the funnel, the very first thing you need to do is to make sure that you are getting traffic into your sales funnel. So there are 3 different types of traffic temperature: the cold, the warm, and the hot. And then there are 3 different ways to get traffic. There's the paid traffic, there's the owned traffic, and then there's the earned traffic. And then we go down to the second stage of the sales funnel, which is where you start to capture the name and the email addresses of the people that is coming into your sales funnel. So we call these the lead capture, and we do so with things like lead magnets, like free PDFs, free guides, free training series, free challenges, or things like quizzes, pop-ups, or subscribe for news and updates. And then down to stage number 3 of the sales funnel, we now start to qualify the leads. We try to get them to either commit to buying a smaller product at a cheaper price, or to commit their time by booking an appointment with us. And then the last part of the sales funnel is where we start to increase the average customer value. So once they buy something small, we want them to buy more from us. We try to move them up the Ascension ladder, and we upsell them stuff, or we cross-sell them stuff, or even we downsell them stuff. So we try to increase the average customer value. So this is how you build a sales funnel from scratch. Again, the principles for this applies across whatever tool that you use to create a sales funnel. So I hope you found this explanation, this breakdown useful for you when it comes to building a sales funnel from scratch. Now, if you've got any questions about building a sales funnel, don't forget to leave your question in the comments below and I'll get to them, or I might even create a video about it. So thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video useful. In the meantime, go check out this video to learn more about online business and online marketing. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video.